Hey, Commanders fans, tune in because we've got some very important information coming and you need to know everything. Here on the channel, you'll find all the latest news about our team with breaking news and everything a true Commanders fan needs to know. So first of all, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell because here you'll receive everything firsthand and never be out of date. Oh, and leave your like right now to strengthen this incredible community and show that Commanders fans are always there. No more ado, hang in there, because today's news is unmissable. Now, let's get straight to the point. Commanders WR Noah Brown out for at least 4 more games. The Washington Commanders will continue to be without one of their top wide receivers. Noah Brown, who is dealing with a persistent groin injury, was officially placed on injured reserve on Wednesday, ruling him out for at least 4 more games. If his recovery progresses as expected, he will be eligible to return in Week 11 of the NFL season. Brown, 29, hasn't played since the loss to the Green Bay Packers in Week 2. In that game, he caught 3 of 7 passes for 36 yards, his only feat so far this season. The wide receiver showed signs of progress upon return to practice recently, but according to head coach Dan Quinn, the injury didn't respond as expected, as reported by Nikki Jabvala of The Athletic. Despite the setback, there is some good news. Quinn stated that Brown will not need surgery, according to ESPN's John Keim. The team plans to continue conservative treatment and re-evaluate the player in the coming weeks. Brown's absence adds to that of fellow injured center Terry McLaurin, who is battling a quadriceps injury. Without their 2 top targets, the Commanders fell to 3-3 after their Week 6 loss to the Chicago Bears. However, Quinn expressed optimism about McLaurin's return, stating that the receiver is expected to return to practice this week, increasing his chances of being available for Sunday's divisional showdown against the Dallas Cowboys. While dealing with the absences, quarterback Jaden Daniels, in his second year in the league, has been relying on other targets to keep the offense productive. Luke McCaffrey, Chris Moore, and Jalen Lane have been receiving more opportunities along with Deebo Samuel and veteran tight end Zach Ertz. Despite these significant absences, Washington's offense remains among the most efficient in the NFL, currently ranking 7th in points per game and 12th in total yards. In addition to the update on Brown, the team announced 2 roster moves: the signing of defensive end Drake Jackson and guard Julian Good-Jones to the practice squad. Good-Jones, who was released in August due to an injury, returns to the team after recovering. Commanders receive worrisome news about injury to quietly dominated player. It's no secret that the Washington Commanders have dealt with some devastating injury issues in the first 6 weeks of the season. One complication after another, and head coach Dan Quinn has yet another headache to deal with ahead of a bitter divisional clash against the Dallas Cowboys. Fans are anxious about Dorance Armstrong Jr.'s situation. The defensive end, who is in the midst of a successful season, was in and out of Washington's loss to the Chicago Bears with a hamstring injury. This is a short week, so it will be a race against time to prove his fitness before potentially facing his former employers this weekend. Armstrong will fight to prove his health, but if he can't play, it will further ease the pressure on the Commanders, who aren't exactly brimming with explosiveness or depth. Commanders could be without Dorance Armstrong Jr. against the Cowboys. Head coach Dan Quinn revealed to the press that Armstrong participated in a walkthrough, which is a positive development. However, he won't know the official prognosis until the former Kansas prospect increases his workload in the coming days. He was able to take the test. I was encouraged by that, but I'll have a better understanding of him tomorrow, Thursday, when we have a little more practice activity. The Commanders have created a contingency plan in case Armstrong is unable to participate. Washington signed Drake Jackson this week, who has missed a lot of football over the past 2 years, but was a highly touted college player coming out of USC. He also knows Adam Peters well from their time together on the San Francisco 49ers. Von Miller, Jacob Martin, and Jalen Holmes are the other edge rushers on Washington's roster. They don't have anyone who can be brought in from the practice squad, so the concerns couldn't be more evident if Armstrong is ruled out. Dallas may have some issues on defense right now. But the Cowboys' offense is a formidable obstacle to overcome. If quarterback Dak Prescott gets pocket time without consistent pressure, he'll tear apart Washington's secondary. With wide receiver CeeDee Lamb likely to play after a long absence, the Commanders' chances don't improve much without Armstrong. Time will tell. Fans will eagerly await developments, but it could legitimately go either way. Armstrong is an integral part of Washington's defensive strategy, and the team's other edge options could crumble without him. Commanders linked to signing former first-round wide receiver after serious injury. The Washington Commanders may be about to bolster their wide receiver core with a big name with significant potential. According to NFL Network reporter Ian Rappaport, the Washington Capitals are eyeing a former first-round NFL draft pick, Treylon Burks, a former Tennessee Titans wide receiver. This Thursday, Burks will hold a private workout with the Washington Commanders just one day after doing the same with the Denver Broncos. The move shows that some franchises are genuinely interested in giving the player another chance, even after a series of injuries that have hampered his short career thus far. Burks suffered a serious fractured collarbone during training camp in July of this year. According to Rappaport, the player arrived at training camp in excellent physical shape, determined to reverse the bad luck of recent years. Treylon Burks arrived at camp in great shape and fractured his collarbone on a spectacular off-balance catch on the sideline. Bad luck for everyone, the journalist wrote on X, formerly Twitter. Selected 18th overall in the 2022 draft out of the University of Arkansas, Burks was seen as one of the most promising wide receivers in his class. In his rookie season, he showed flashes of talent, totaling 33 receptions in 11 games and 444 passing yards. However, his expected development was interrupted by injuries. In 2023, he again appeared in 11 games, but managed only 16 receptions for 221 yards. In 2024, his situation worsened. Injuries limited him to just 5 games, with 4 receptions in total. Given his difficulties and lack of continuity, the Titans decided to release him after the injury he suffered in training camp. It's still unclear whether the fracture was less severe than previously thought, or whether the interested teams are considering a future investment, focusing on the player's development for 2026. What is known is that Treylon Burks still carries enormous physical and technical potential, and his combination of size, speed, and strength makes him a tempting option for any franchise needing roster depth. For the Washington Commanders, the interest makes sense. The team has been facing injury issues among its wide receivers, making the addition of a player with Burks' profile a potential solution to increase the group's competitiveness. If he's healthy, he could be a valuable asset, giving quarterback Jaden Daniels and head coach Dan Quinn more options. The next step will be individual training. Burks will have the opportunity to demonstrate his physical recovery and convince Washington's evaluators that he can still contribute this season. If all goes well, the player could receive a contract offer in the coming days, and who knows, maybe even wear a Commander's jersey soon.